All right, let's go ahead and move on now to the second place team in the AFC East in 2023, and that is the Miami Dolphins for their offseason recap. But before we do that, if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified whenever Tyler and I post new content. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the NFL draft, so if you could help us reach that goal, that would be very much appreciated. And Tyler, let's go ahead and get into it. The Miami Dolphins have had a pretty exciting offseason, actually. Bringing in Jalen Ramsey, signing David Long, the linebacker from the Titans. And, well, I guess that's about it. They brought in Braxton Berrios and traded Mike Gesicki, or lost Mike Gesicki to the Patriots. So I think there's a lot to break down here. Obviously, the highlight is Jalen Ramsey. But I think if you look at that cornerback tandem with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, it sets this Dolphins defense up really well.
Yeah. Well, and this is already a Dolphins defense, and we saw it in that Bills game. And led by Jalen Phillips, they can just get after the quarterback. They can put on a lot of pressure. And what they really needed, though, is like they had Xavier Howard, who had a down year, so to say, and maybe starting to kind of come definitely towards the latter end of his career. But so is Jalen Ramsey, and they both can still play at a high level at times. And so I think this is what is this defense going to need to keep this just aggressive, get after the quarterback, hard, consistent pass rush all the time, and then have those two lockdown corners that they want to play. I think as we talked about it, I believe, in the Thursday night game when they played Cincinnati. But you were telling me about it. Like they like to do just, I think, just press. What's it called again? Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was blanking on it. Sorry, it's getting late. But yeah, and having guys like that, Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, for that system, like you need to have guys like them who want to lock down guys, and then gives your defensive lineman a couple extra seconds to get after the quarterback and provide pressure.
Yeah. And so I really like that signing. It is a little interesting. So Vic Fangio just became their defensive coordinator. And if you know who Vic Fangio is, he's a longtime kind of perennial or rotational defensive coordinator around a lot of teams in the NFL. But he's actually has kind of coined this cover 3 shell defense that a lot of these teams are running now in the NFL, where they're really preventing the big play. And so I think that's kind of interesting given these signings that they're doing. And then the style of defense that their defensive coordinator likes to run are a little bit contradictory. However, they're still two of the top corners in the league right now. And that's maybe they'll adjust to what their players do well. And so I think this defense is looking pretty scary. And if you look at what this offense was able to do in the first half of last season, I mean, you're looking at a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense combination, and a team that could really compete for the division in 2023.
Yeah. Well, and especially, another year to get used to each other for Tua and Tyreek Hill, and then also Jalen Waddle as well. The thing for me, though, is it's still going to be just their offensive line play. And so they have added some depth with Dan Feeney, and I don't believe that they lost any offensive line members that were they did lose Michael Dieter to the Texans, but he didn't play at all. And so
Landon Roberts to the Steelers was a decent loss.
That was a linebacker position. I meant with the offensive line. And for the offense to continue to excel, they just need to keep improving this offensive line. Just bottom line. They re-signed all their running backs, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and Myles Gaskin as well. And I like all those guys, but none of those guys I think are going to be able to excel without like a stronger offensive line. And at the same time, those guys, to me, I don't think that they're going to be lethal, so to say. I think they need to go and get, this is a deep running back class. I think it's one of the things that they need to go address is go get a running back with either their second pick or maybe third round pick. I think maybe Zach Charbonnet or
I don't think they have a third round pick anymore. I think they traded it to the.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. Yeah. So. But so they spent their third round pick on a corner, and so for their fourth round pick, maybe.
Yeah, and so that was kind of, I was going to wrap it up. Usually when we wrap these up, we talk about what we think they should do in the draft, but I think the Dolphins only have 4 or 5 picks, which is
4 now, actually. Yeah, after the 3rd round pick.
Yeah, so which is the smallest of any draft class. So I really would just like to see them bolster up this offensive line with those 4 picks, and then also maybe add a running back later on. To me, I look at this team and I look at what a lot of the problems that they're having last year, and Tua was getting hit a good amount because this offensive line wasn't as good. And so I think that's probably where they really need to invest the majority of their picks. And as far as exact players, the first pick is escaping my mind at the moment, so I don't know exactly. But I mean, there's plenty of offensive linemen that are going to be around in I want to say it would be like early 50s.
I think it's 52, I believe.
Yeah. So at 52, I mean, you're looking at Joe Tippmann, the center from Wisconsin. John Michael Schmitz should be gone by then, but
51. Sorry.
51. And so I think they're going to have some good interior offensive linemen. They're going to be able to maybe take a look at a developmental tackle in Jalen Duncan or Matthew Bergeron or Blake Freeland. Some of those guys. I would love to see them get one of those guys in there to protect Tua. So
yeah, because with how quick they are, it's amazing. Imagine if they were able to have an effective run game to where then they can even utilize that play action even more. Because with the amount of speed that they have, it's if you can get some of these safeties or corners to bite on a run, and then I mean Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are just going to run right past them. You know they like. And the fact that they're not able to do that is only holding them back, and that's what they really need to address. So
yeah. And so to me, I think that's the direction they have to go is offensive line, and then add depth at running back room. So let's go ahead and wrap up the Miami Dolphins there. I know it was a bit of a shorter video than what we've been doing, but just after that Jalen Ramsey trade, they don't have a ton to do in the draft. I think they're set up well for 2023. But we'll see. Let's see if they can keep Tua healthy and keep this offense rolling the whole season. So. Let's move on now to the division winner, the Buffalo Bills offseason recap. But before we get into that, if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and smash that bell so you get notified when Tyler and I create new content. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the NFL draft, so if you could help us reach that goal, that would be very much appreciated. And hey, we're only like 40 away at the time of recording this, so if we've already passed it, then we're trying to hit 2,000. So go ahead and help us reach that goal. So